What is up, my Beatle fans? It's Jude, and today I'm going to react to a video. It's about foods only the rich can afford. So yeah, let's get it started.
Tired of eating the same old food? Fancy a taste of some of the finest ingredients money can buy? A meal like this one would set you back more than just a few $1,000s. Don't believe me? Stay tuned to find out about some foods that are only available to the rich. Coffin Bay King Oysters. Let's kick things off with one of the most prestigious entrees.
Oh yeah, I decided to watch this video because, I was pretty curious on, different types of food and stuff like that. So, and then I found this video, foods only the rich can afford. So yeah, that's why I'm picking this video right now. So
Trays around. Oysters. Unless you happen to be drowning in cash, these babies probably aren't part of your typical Friday night dinner. There are many varieties of this legendary delicacy, but just one can be named the literal king of all oysters, the Coffin Bay King Oyster. Grown exclusively on a farm located within a sheltered peninsula off the Australian west coast, these wallet-busting mollusks come with a hefty price tag of about $75 a pop. After being grown for 6 years rather than the usual 18 months, each bad boy...
Wait, is this 75 for one, I think so.
These wallet-busting mollusks come with a hefty price tag of about $75 a pop. After being grown for 6 years...
Wow. Yeah, that's expensive.
Rather than the usual
$75?
Each bad boy can weigh up to 2 pounds, meaning they can have up to 10 times more meat than their run-of-the-mill cousins. Their strong aroma and complex taste have earned them the title of the oyster steak of the ocean. But if you want to shell out and see for yourself, you'll have to head down to Australia's Peninsula. Almost Caviar. Oysters are a great appetizer, but if you want to get real swanky, why not throw in some caviar? Behold the almighty Almost Caviar, which will set you back a cool $25,000 for a 2.2 pound tin. Of course, the...
Damn! 25,000 for that? Nah, man. No way.
Tin is made of metal, which has been bathed in 24 karat gold, so...
Like, does it even taste good? I don't know. Like, I'm wondering if it even... Like, I don't even know if it's worth it, Who knows?
It's worth every penny, right? Caviar is usually made from the eggs of the savruga, osetra, and beluga species of sturgeonfish. But this white caviar comes exclusively from the albino beluga sturgeon, which lives in the Caspian Sea. Because their albinism is caused by a genetic disorder, albino belugas are extremely rare nowadays. That doesn't stop the filthy rich from dashing their chances of survival even more by eating their eggs anyway. The pearl-like eggs are extracted from the specimens over 100 years old and are said to boast an intense, nutty, creamy taste best enjoyed on toast or over ice with vodka to finish. Almost Caviar can only be purchased from one of the few select caviar house and prunier stores in London. And did I mention it's commonly eaten with a pearl spoon?
I mean, it could be good to try, but yeah, it's a lot of... 25,000. That's crazy money. I mean, like, that 25,000, that's like, I don't even know, like, man, that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It takes a lot.
Bird's nest soup. Have you ever felt compelled to climb a tree and chow down on an entire bird's nest? Or better yet, take it home and turn it into soup? Believe it or not, bird's nest soup is a major delicacy in China, costing anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000 per kilogram. These aren't any old bird's nests, but the nest of swallows or swiftlets, which are made from 100% saliva. That's right, these birds make their babies' homes out of their own solidified spit. And some culinary connoisseurs can't get enough of the stuff. When they're boiled in water, the delicate nests dissolve into a gelatinous goop, which is supposedly perfect for soups. Yummy.
Wait, hold on. They were saying something about...
Believe it or not, bird's nest soup is a major delicacy in China, costing anywhere between $2,500 to $10,000 per kilogram. These aren't any old bird's nests, but the nest of swallows or swiftlets, which are made from 100% saliva.
Saliva? What? Bruh, I don't know. You're eating saliva? That's like, how does I can't even imagine how saliva tastes. Like dried up saliva? That's basically what it is. That's basically what it is, dried up saliva.
But the nest of swallows or swiftlets, which are made from 100% saliva. That's right, these birds make their babies' homes out of their own solidified spit. And some culinary connoisseurs can't get enough of the stuff. When they're boiled in water, the delicate nests dissolve into a gelatinous goop, which is supposedly perfect for soups.
I mean, they boil it, so, you know, it kills the germs and everything, but like spit though, like, I can't even think of what spit, you know, like even tastes like, you know, especially from, wild animal, you know.
Yummy. The asking price of about $100 per bowl can be attributed to how hard the nests are to get a hold of in the first place. Climbers must scale the dark and dizzying heights of the Madai Caves in Malaysia to scout for nests that are ready for the picking. Ideally after one batch of eggs is hatched, but before a second. After that, each tiny feather must be individually removed by hand. Ayam Somani Black Chicken. Chicken isn't the most unique menu item, but have you ever seen one like this before? The Ayam Somani chicken, which hails from Indonesia, isn't just coated in jet black feathers. It's totally black on the inside too. This Lamborghini poultry grows at a slower rate and supposedly tastes slightly better than your everyday kind. But Somanis aren't actually eaten for their flavor. The reason for its elusiveness and desirability is that the bird can be traced back to Japanese folk.
Hold on.
12 seconds later.
Century, where it was considered a mystical food of the elite. Its charcoal-colored blood is also rumored to bring power and wealth upon those who consume it, making it a sought-after good luck charm in certain cultures. Somanis are hard to come by in the U.S., so the asking price can be up to $2,000.
Somani. So that's what they call black chicken? Is Somani? Yeah, I never heard of it before. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I can see why. I mean, it must be a rare species. So, because, you know, yeah, that's
for a full
definitely
grown bird
different.
And $200 for a single newborn chick.
Yeah.
Kobe beef. Steak makes a mean main course, but if you want a truly premium experience, there's one kind that'll do the job. Kobe beef. These illustrious cuts of meat are procured from the Tajima-gu breed of Japanese Wagyu cattle, which are raised in the Kobe region. The animals are so well esteemed that they live like kings. They're massaged daily, played classical music, and even fed beer to induce their appetite. Kobe beef is renowned for its superior flavor, tenderness, and high amount of intermuscular fat, which contributes to its melt-in-the-mouth qualities. All Wagyu beef is rated on a marbling scale of 1 to 12 based on this distribution of fat, and Kobe beef only qualifies if it scores between 10 to 12. The luxury beef market has even been tainted by controversy after numerous...
I mean, I don't really eat beef all the time, but, you know, I mean, yeah, burgers and stuff. So, you know, that could be good for, like, trying out a burger or something, or just trying it out for yourself and everything. Just trying it out without any bread or of some sort. But, yeah, it's pretty interesting. They just said that it tastes better, has a better flavor. Yeah, that's what they said. So, I don't know.
Establishments tried to pass off regular Wagyu.
But yeah, of course, it's very expensive, so, you know.
Beef is Kobe. With Kobe fraud rampant in the U.S., all cuts must now be assigned a 10-digit ID number so that it can be traced back to the cow it came from. Restaurateurs must also carry a license of authenticity that can be shown on demand. So if you're a beef aficionado, it's worth checking before shelling out up to $300 for a single pound of meat. Blonde Aquatain steak. For those rich enough to take a been-there-done-that approach to Kobe beef, perhaps Blonde Aquatain steak is more your forte. This rare beef is considered the most expensive steak in the world, and you can expect to pay about $3,200 for just one cut. The meat comes from prized free-range Blonde Aquatain.
Honestly, I know beef, you know, it comes from, you know, the meat. It's made out of meat stuff, but I know they make like plants and stuff. They make it turn into to make it taste like meat and stuff. So Yeah, I think I like that. You know, I mean, I liked it more than like regular beef and stuff and meat and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know how this, you know, these two meats here, the steak and the other beef taste like, but yeah, as of right now, I like that plant. I like the plant one they make it taste like it's meat, you know, and look like it's meat. So I like that better right now. But I mean, I have to try this out to see which is better, you know. But,
$2 for just one cut. The meat comes from prized free-range blonde Aquatain cattle and is produced by Parisian butcher Alexandre Polmard on his family farm in northeastern France. The extortionate price tag is thanks to the technique Polmard developed in the 1990s to treat the meat. The cattle are hand-reared and free to roam the forests and grasslands of the French countryside, and only 4 are killed weekly. Each cow is then slaughtered humanely to make the process as stress-free as possible and to keep acidity levels at a minimum. The meat is then stored in a room and pumped with a constant stream of air at speeds of almost 75 miles per hour and temperatures of negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit, where it remains in this state of forced hibernation for 15 years. To see if it's really worth it, you'll have to...
15 years? Jeez, man. 15 years. That's... Wait, why is it in there so long, though? Wait. I don't even know.
The extortionate price tag is thanks to the technique Polmard developed in the 1990s to treat the meat. The cattle are hand-reared and free to roam the forests and grasslands of the French countryside, and only 4 are killed weekly. Each cow is then slaughtered humanely to make the process as stress-free as possible and to keep acidity levels at a minimum. The meat is then stored in a room and pumped with a constant stream of air at speeds of almost 75 miles per hour and temperatures of negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit, where it remains in this state of forced hibernation for 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the reason why they're expensive, because, you know, they take so much time to, the process, you know, the process.
At a minimum. The meat is then stored in a room.
The process of storing the meat, you know, so it takes a long time.
With a constant stream of air at speeds of almost 75 miles per hour and temperatures of negative 45 degrees Fahrenheit, where it remains in this state of forced hibernation for 15 years. To see if
it's the process of hibernation that makes it expensive.
It's really worth it. You'll have to visit Polmard's store in Paris. Very few
and yeah, of course, it probably tastes really good too, you know.
With the beef, and Polmard pays each establishment a personal visit before they're even allowed to serve it. La Bonate potatoes. The potato is one of the most humble foods around, but not when it comes to the sought-after La Bonate variety, aka the world's most expensive potato. These spuds are so well regarded that they're even known as the caviar of the potato world. Why, you ask? Firstly, they're almost exclusively grown on the tiny island of Noirmoutier off the coast of western France, and only about 20 tons are produced yearly. Preparing them for sale is also an arduous process because they're too delicate to be machine harvested, so each potato must be carefully hand-picked instead. With all the added effort it takes to get a hold of them, you might be wondering why La Bonate potatoes are worth eating to begin with. Fans of the souped-up spud say the sea air and sea water, which acts as a fertilizer for the soil, gives the potatoes a hint of sea salt and even a suggestion of lemon. If you fancy La Bonates for tea, you should probably know that they sell for about $300 per pound.
$300.
If there's one thing capable of elevating...
I mean, I'm not too crazy about potatoes, but, you know, I mean, yeah, I eat them like once in every blue moon, you know, once every, I don't know, like it. So I don't really eat potatoes, but, you know, I mean, I kind of like them. You know, they're alright.
To new layers of prestige is truffles. These fragrant fungi are some of the world's rarest delicacies, and even the Romans couldn't get enough, attributing them with therapeutic and aphrodisiac properties. White truffles, or the diamond of the kitchen, are by far the best. The knobbly white mushrooms can only be harvested between October through December in the forest of Piedmont in northern Italy, where they grow inches below the earth with the roots of hardwood trees, which means finding them isn't easy. Specially trained dogs or pigs, known as truffle couteurs, must scour the forest floor in search of hidden gems below the earth. Scientists have tried and failed to domesticate white truffles, meaning you also won't be stumbling upon any in your local supermarket anytime soon. These factors all contribute to the fervor surrounding truffles and the value their complex flavor can bring to risotto, pasta, and even foie gras. Just 1 pound of white truffles costs around $2,000, and in 2009, a record-breaking single 1.6 pound specimen was even auctioned for an eye-watering $150,000. Kopi Luwak coffee. Many people enjoy an after-dinner beverage, and if you're entertaining guests with particularly deep pockets, perhaps only Kopi Luwak coffee will suffice. Legend has it this highly valued coffee was first discovered.
I mean, I don't really drink coffee, so this doesn't really, apply to me, but, yeah, I don't know.
Indonesia.
I mean, I never really knew the different flavors, so.
Will suffice. Legend.
Or, what is it? What? I don't even know what they even do. Yeah, I don't know too much about coffee.
As that this highly valued coffee was first discovered in Indonesia under Dutch colonial rule. Native farmers and plantation workers were forbidden from harvesting coffee for their own use and were left to scrounge around for it. That's when they made an unusual discovery. Civet cats would eat coffee cherries and poop out the seeds, or coffee beans, without digesting them. After brewing coffee from the discarded beans, they realized it tasted great too, mostly because the civets picked only the ripest cherries. The tradition continued, and nowadays vendors of authentic Kopi Luwak coffee can command anywhere between $250 to $1,200 per kilogram.
Yeah, I mean, if they're really expensive, these foods, man, they have to, taste good, they have to have different flavors that people couldn't even imagine having, but that has to be what it is. I mean, so yeah, it has to taste really good. I mean,
there are some controversies surrounding the unconventional beverage, though. Primarily, civet cats are nocturnal and don't have big appetites, which means more than 80% of Kopi Luwak coffee sold in the U.S. has never actually passed through one. Attempts to industrialize the process also means many civet cats are caged and force-fed the beer.
So, the Luwak coffee comes from them, okay. So when they eat, they digest it, and then they,
berries round the clock, which results in crappy coffee made by very crappy people. Denki black watermelon. After a meal as rich as the one I've just laid out, a fresh fruit salad.
Now watermelons, yeah, I eat them pretty often. I like them. It's one of my favorite kind of food to have. So.
It is about as much dessert as you could manage. This won't be any old fruit though. Duh. First up, the Denki black watermelon. These rare melons are exclusively grown on the northern island of Hokkaido in Japan in annual quantities of about 10,000 units. Besides their intriguingly dark outer appearance, they're said to have crisper flesh, more juice, and an enhanced sweetness compared to their overseas relatives. There's a lucrative market for decorative fruit in Japan, so
yeah, more flavor. See, this is what I'm telling you. They have more flavor to it, so that's why they make it more expensive.
It's not uncommon for Denkis to be purchased as expensive gifts. Depending on the size, they usually go for upwards of $250. But in 2008, one fine specimen even sold for $6,100. Yubari King Melon. Even the Denki is a bargain compared to Japan's most highly priced melon, the Yubari King, which is basically a cross between two cantaloupes.
I don't really eat those type of melons, but I mean, I see my mom eat them, but I try them. I try them sometimes, they taste alright. They're alright, yeah. I don't know about this one, but
this esteemed fruit is also exclusively grown on Hokkaido Island and is a major status symbol for anyone with enough spare dough to add one to their collection. In spring 2016, supermarket owner Takamura Konishi hit the headlines after he pocketed a pair of Yubari Kings for the eye-popping price of $27,240, making them the most expensive melons ever sold. But what is one?
Yeah, that's crazy. $27,240 for that? Jeez, man. That's crazy money. That's crazy.
$40, making them the most expensive melons ever sold. But what does one of these premium fruits taste of? A gold bullion? Apparently, they just have an ultra-concentrated sweetness. Konishi said he offered such a fee for the melons to pay back the hard work of the Yubari farmers. But even a less coveted buyer can still expect to pay thousands at auction.
So that's crazy. I mean, they sell these foods, they probably sell them and then they get so much money out of it. Wow, that's yeah. I mean, get so much money out for just one food that people just eat and not just digest. That's crazy. Yeah.
Farmers, but even a less coveted buyer can still expect to pay thousands at auction. Japan's luxury fruit market isn't just exclusive to melons, and in 2019, Takamaru Konishi raised eyebrows again after paying $11,318 for a bunch of ruby Roman grapes, which worked out at around $370 per grape. This rare variety is lauded for its juiciness, high sugar content, and low acidity. Oh, and did I mention they're about the size of ping pong balls thanks to years of selective breeding? When they first hit the market in 2008, 700-gram Ruby Roman bunches sold for around $910, and their prices only skyrocketed since. Donkey cheese. A cheese course is the perfect way to complete a meal, but for a banquet like this one, plain old cheddar just won't cut it. Believe it or not, there's such a thing as donkey cheese, otherwise known as pule, and it'll cost you a pretty penny. This bizarre creation is only produced by farmer Slobodan Simic on his rural farm in Serbia with the help of some 300 donkeys from the Zasavica Nature Reserve. It's esteemed for its supposed healthy benefits with claims that it's high in protein, calcium, and omega-3 fatty acids. Getting milk from the donkeys isn't easy because only about 20 animals produce it at one time, and it takes several gallons of milk to make 1 pound of cheese. This is because their milk doesn't contain enough casein, the characteristic that thickens it into curd, to make the cheese the traditional way. Thankfully, Simic has a secret method to make the cheese, but it comes at a price. Each kilo sells for about $1,110.
I mean, it makes sense that expensive then, because they're literally saying that, like, the whole process of getting the milk from the donkeys and then, you know, making it into cheese, how much, and then they need like a certain amount of milk and all that. Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense that they're putting it at a high price. I mean, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of days on the farm and stuff, a lot of days with the donkeys, you know. And yeah, you know,
a lot to pay for literal ass cheese, don't you think? Which of these premium ingredients would you?
All right, so that's it. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Yeah, foods only the rich can afford. I mean, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I would definitely want to. I mean, I definitely can't afford that, but yeah, I'd be interested to taste it. But yeah, if you like this video, this reaction video to be exact, thumbs up, comment on it, and yeah, more will come. So stay tuned, and yeah, peace.